Hi everybody, it's Miss Kathryn here. We're in my messy little kitchen to do another STEM activity today. So I'm going to turn the camera down and we'll keep talking. We are going to do our roots and shoots STEM activity today. So what you will have picked up in your kit is an instruction sheet and then this. These are two small containers, one with a lid on it and seeds inside. And these are dried beans. So our sheet says a list of ingredients: dried beans, 2 plastic containers, and you should have a paper towel at home. You can use a napkin if you would like. It just needs to be able to fit inside one of these cups. So here's the funny thing. I was thinking about doing this experiment, and it comes from a book called Crafty Science by James Bell. We have it at the library. You could check it out if you want. It said you would need bean seeds. So I was thinking, oh, I need to buy enough bean seeds. And then I walked past a bag of soup beans at the store, and they cost under $2. And I thought, I think we can use soup beans. So I did just buy a bag of 16 bean soup mix. It came with a little packet of flavoring, which I got rid of because I'm not going to be making bean soup. But I think I am going to plant some more beans outside. So what you need to do is you take these 2 containers like this. You're going to take the lid off of this one. Oh, we actually have 3. Ha. You'll take the lid off of the ones with the beans in it, and you're going to pour water into it. All right. Can you see how much water I have in here? It's about 3/4 of the way full. Not to the top. Doesn't have to be to the top. Could be a little bit less. But the beans have to be covered. What we want to do is leave this at least for this one with the water in it, at least for 12 hours. I left mine for 24 when I did this experiment, and I'll show you how it turned out in a minute. I did it on Valentine's Day, Sunday, and then probably around 3 in the afternoon. And then the next day on Monday around 3 or 4, I went ahead and finished putting the experiment together. You need to let your beans soak. Look at the difference between that bean and these beans. They are so much bigger. All right. They need to get water inside them, get moist, and what we call rehydrate. What we're going to be doing with these beans, what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to pour off the water. I want the beans to stay in the cup. I don't want them to drop in the water. So I'm going to do that really carefully. And then I'm going to lay them out on a paper towel. And you can see here, let me show you a couple. Because what happens, let me show you. This is the size of a dried bean, and this is what it looks like when it gets moist again. It's much bigger, and it feels soft, but it's not hard like this one. Okay, some of what will happen will be that your bean will fall out of the case, the shell, and crack. And we're going to plant that one and see what happens, but I don't know what will happen if it cracks like that. So I wanted a variety of beans. So I want to see what happens to these beans when we put them in this cup and keep them well watered. All right. So what we're going to do, we have our beans laid out. We need a paper towel, not just to lay the beans on, but that's helpful. You need a dry paper towel. My paper towels come in quarters or halves. So you can make a half a paper towel. You can get a whole paper towel. You can use 3 halves, paper towel and half. But I like to use just a half a paper towel. I folded it in half and made a little crease, and then I opened it back up. And then I took the edges and folded those into the crease like so. And then I folded that in half. And what we need to do is make a band of paper towel that will fit inside our cup. All right. So I kind of roll it around my loose fingers I want it to sit up against the wall of the cup. So you might need to make a little adjustments and then push it down in, but you want it to be pretty flush up there. It doesn't have to be straight around. See how that looks? It's not perfect. Now it's dry right now. We're going to moisten it. It needs to stay moist in order for the beans to grow. Beans need, or seeds, any seeds, need to be moist and they need sunlight. And they do need to be warm right now. So we can't keep this outside. Okay? So you'll get your beans, take them home, put them in water, set them overnight. Don't leave them any longer than 24 hours. I think they will get very mushy and they will not germinate. That means grow. But then we're going to take our beans. And part of this experiment is, do beans know how to grow if you just kind of put them haphazardly into something? So when you look at your beans, you'll see they have, I call this the belly button. I'm sure it has a different name. But can you see that right there, that little white part in the center? That is where the bean was attached to the plant. And that is where the bean got all of its nutrients to grow what it needed to grow. So that is where your roots and shoots are going to grow out of. So what I want to do with this experiment is I want to put that bean in between the paper towel and the side of the cup. And I'm going to put this one so that little belly button is facing down. I want to trick the bean and see if it knows that it needs to grow up instead of down, right? So it looks like that. It's right there in the cup. Then I'm going to take another bean and I'm going to put it a little further away, and I'm going to place that one so that its little belly button is facing to the side. And I'm going to take this bean. It's white, but you can still see in the middle there's a little section that looks like that little belly button. And I'm going to place that one facing the other one. Well, I'll face it up. Let's face that one up. You can kind of drop them in anywhere. They have to go in between. They should go in between the paper towel and the cup, so you can see how they're fitting in there. All right. And we'll just keep doing that. I have a garbanzo bean. I don't know which way to place that one, so I'm just going to drop it in here. And it's going to go any which way it wants to go. So I have beans all around. You could put all of them in there if you want to. You could probably open up this little fold and stick that pea bean in there, that pea seed, and see what happens in that fold. And then I'll put this black bean in the other side in that fold. If you have your paper towel so the folds are up and you can open them up a little bit. So once we have our beans in there, we need to make I'm going to get a little bit of water from this bowl that I poured off, but we need to make our paper towel wet. So we put water on the paper towel. We don't fill it with water. We just need to make that paper towel wet. And we need to keep the paper towel wet. And I'll give you some little hints on how I did that. But we want to put water in there, okay? I think we'll stick another bean in here. Let's do this. No, let's do a small one. We'll do a little white bean. I'll stick them in there. Okay. So once that's done, you can just set it aside. Now you don't have to use the lid, but I'll tell you what, I put the lid on mine because I was worried about my cats tipping it over. And I also transported it to the library so we could watch it grow there, Amy and I. And what this does is it holds the moisture in. And what you'll notice when you have it in a warm, sunny spot, or if you have it warm in your house, a sunny spot is best. Plants need moisture and sunlight to grow, okay? And to germinate. And that means grow the roots and grow some shoots, and then we can put them we can plant those plants. We're growing a plant from a seed, so that's called germinating. But this will make a little bit of condensation on the top. You'll notice there'll be some water sticking to the top. and around the sides. And you're just gonna, you can leave it like that until your plants begin to actually grow. And it's gonna take some time. Let me show you the ones that I planted on President's Day. So that was February 15th. Look at them. They're amazing. Look at inside there. Now I'm going to take this back to the library so you can see it. But those are the plants. Now it's been 2 weeks, so they have really grown. And you can see these are the shoots that have the leaves on them. And the roots are basically growing down because no matter how you plant your seed, the seed knows the roots have to go down to anchor that seed into the ground, right? So when you plant, you don't plant your shoots in the ground and your roots up top. You put those in the ground, they anchor that plant so it can stand and grow big and tall, and the roots pull nutrients out of the soil. Nutrients are in all the foods that we eat, they're in all the foods the animals eat, and all the foods the plants eat. So plants get those nutrients from the ground. They also need nutrients from the sun, and they get that by being in the sun and having their leaves open, and their leaves absorb the heat from the sun, and that helps them grow. And the shoots always grow up and the roots always grow down, no matter how you place. You see that one's roots are starting to come. Some of them, see, this is what'll happen is this one doesn't have anything going on. No. Yeah, it does actually. Is that one that one? Yes. Okay. So this one really doesn't have much going on. This one has a little bit, and the rest of them really are growing, but the shoots are growing up and the roots are growing down. And this one probably needs to be put in some soil. So I'm going to take a pot and some soil to work, and we're going to plant these beans and see how they grow in the library. I think that'll be really fun to watch. You can grow yours. I think I'm going to take a bunch of these beans and germinate them like this. And then I'm going to take them outside and plant them in a spot near my raised bed where I want to grow some vegetables. So the rabbits can eat the beans, and I'll grow things like peppers and maybe some broccoli or lettuce or tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes would be good. But that is our roots and shoots today. So I hope you have fun with this. If you haven't already, you just stumbled upon this tutorial, get your kit from the library. They're available while supplies last. And if you haven't picked one up yet, you might want to call and see if there are any there before you come out. But if you happen to stop by, please do. It's a lot of fun. I love growing things. I hope you do too. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.